Hello, hello. So I'm gonna call this the Drive Podcast. Fuck. The Drive By Pod. No, fuck. The Drive In Podcast. I don't think it's gonna be really be a podcast. Maybe it might be more of commentary, but who knows? Just been wanting to start this for a while. I do apologize about the audio. Turns out my USB ports on my laptop don't work, and I can't afford a new one. So I'm just gonna deal with this for the time being. But with that out of the way, let's get started. So I wanted to talk about, having principles of being let go because I just got let go and I think a lot of it is based on my principles. And I can see why a lot of people over time lose the principles that they originally really believed in because it just fucks them over. Honestly, I find that when you have certain set of principles, you get fucked over more than often than not, and it's just easier to just I guess conform to the norm. I suppose is the best way to put it. So that I'll just get started from there. So I work for this company. It's a safety shoe business, and I was one of the better managers at said company. I was pretty good at sales. And so it's sales and management. So when we're on the floor with sales, when we're in the back, it's admin stuff. And as a sales manager, I was not sales manager. As a salesperson, I was pretty decent. I was one of the better ones in the company, and then as a manager, I was kind of still working my way through. I There's this one particular aspect of the job I just struggled with. It was with the on accounts. I was making a couple of errors based on the instructions they give us, and overall, I think I was pretty good. And I got let go recently, and I wanted to talk about it because what happened was we had this like $4,000 sale, and as per our store, we like to split it with everyone involved. And what happened was my manager had been telling me for a couple of weeks, hey, you should put it under everyone. Then last minute, she's like, so we're gonna split it. So I thought, okay, this is kind of like a change in direction from what you told me for the last 2 weeks. But I was like, okay, we can split it. And then, I ended up splitting it, and she was really upset because, the whole idea was to put it under her name and split with the rest of the stuff. I just didn't feel comfortable with not splitting it personally, but I was gonna do whatever I was told to do. And she calls me, she says, I've been working there a whole year, and I'm still making the same mistakes as I did when I first started. And she said, this is insubordination. Why don't you just listen to me? And a couple other things. But those are the ones that stick out. And I felt like at that very moment, that just shot my confidence down because I was already struggling with stuff mentally. And to hear that from her, the one place where I thought I wasn't fucking up in my life, and to hear that I did fuck up, it's kind of, I guess it brought me down because, I really thought I was doing okay. And I thought I was just doing my best. But your best is never good enough, honestly. And you just try to live with it. It's a struggle. Especially because, I fucked up so much things in my life. There's no one thing that I haven't fucked up yet. But, yeah. So, I felt like I really screwed up. And I just decided, look, I'm not your manager, obviously. If you're gonna come at me in this way and use this certain language with me, obviously I'm not your manager. So I did what I guess it's not the appropriate thing to do, but I decided, look, you obviously don't want me as a manager, so I'll step down, I'll transfer, or I'll move somewhere else. I had my foot out of the door from the store, not from the company per se, and I did sacrifice a lot of opportunities to be with the company. Mainly being starting this. I've been trying to do this for a while, and then I gave it up just to work in the company because I enjoyed it. And then just to hear that from someone I thought I could trust, it just didn't sit well with me. Anyways, so the next day I was gonna talk to her about it in person, but then her husband got sent to the hospital. Now you may disagree with what I did here, but I feel like if it was me, I would, even if I was, my parents were in an accident or something and I was a manager, I would like to know if you're planning to leave. There's never a good time for that. especially if the time is just off. So I texted her, just let her know, hey, listen, I have a foot out the door from the store, and she obviously didn't appreciate it, but I just thought I was doing what was best. But upper management disagreed, because that's the reason I was let go. I was let go because I texted her when she was down, and I said, what I don't understand is like, people always want you to be honest, be principled. And I was doing that. I was letting her know, look, I'm not your manager. I'll step down if I have to. That's the best case scenario. Because I can still work there because I enjoy it. But to just assume I was going to leave or just assume I was quitting, just over that reason, I'm a tougher man than that. I'm not going to leave just because he said that, even if I said my foot was out the other door from the store. Doesn't mean we couldn't work through that either, because we didn't get to talk. Yeah, so I got let go, and it's just bullshit to me. Like, if I had a worker, I think of my caliber, not to toot my own horn, I think a lot of people would value that. And yeah, I'm replaceable, but the quality of work is just not replaceable, especially because, I was very good at generating leads. That was the number one thing. I was number one in the company, running a lot of business, right? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overvaluing myself too much, but I think I was a good worker. And, compared to all the other workers, especially because they were planning to promote me, I think that they just lost out on talent over, honestly, a petty reason. And like I said, I just wanted to let her know my plans, just so that she can kind of either talk to me or, plan ahead. And that's honestly why I told her. But I guess, being honest is not something that should be valued anymore. I think that, my mistake was just trying to get her to realize, hey, listen, what you said was not okay, kind of thing. And then she talks to me too, and, gave me the assurance that I would stick around. But anyways, I am done with this shit. You're a hard worker, a competent worker, but it's not enough to do that. It's just when someone insults you and stuff like that, then, you get to let go for it because you're trying to defend yourself. That I don't understand, man. So I'm tired of that shit. Yeah, sorry if it's not scripted, but it's just how I feel. Just being very candid. Yeah, my audio sucks because stupid USB ports on my laptop don't work. But, it's not the first time being let go for principal. I had another case where I had a couple. My staff was being, based on the labor laws where I live, they were being treated, illegally, and they were migrant workers, but they were PRs, and some of them were just became citizens. So I said, what, this doesn't sit well with me. Even if you're a migrant worker, I don't abide by these legal acts. Unfair acts too. And then I got let go because I told HR, listen, this is illegal, and I got let go right away. So a lot of places can terminate you for, honestly, they can just terminate you whenever they feel like it, and you really have no you're not gonna get a lawyer because it's not worth it, right? It's too expensive because you're just trying to get by and survive in this world, especially how expensive it is nowadays. It's kind of disappointing because these big ass corporations can just do whatever they want with you in the end of the day. And they'll just frame it as, oh, we let him go, or we were downsizing, instead of just like, yeah, we fired him. And it's like, that's literally what you did. Like, you fired me. So I am in a situation where I'm in a crossroads now because although I don't want to start this, my plan B is obviously to find another job, and my plan C is just to go back to school. But I am not gonna do anything related to, university where I went. I really regret not going to college, and there's a distinction here where I live. I regret not going to college and pursuing easy carpentry, woodworking, one of the two, because I learned that stuff when I was younger, and everyone told me, oh, you should go to university because you're so smart, and then surprise, surprise, it's like literally the worst decision I could have made. because I did not enjoy my university experience because it just wasn't for me. And I that's another thing I do want to talk about because I had some issues with how university successfully put into the minds of people that colleges are no good, and this kind of elitism from it, and how because universities are business first, right? So I think it was a marketing ploy, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, but that's for another conversation. Just going back to the main topic. Yeah, so it's kind of hard now. I do want to stick with this because ideally this is what I can do, at least to supplement my current income until I get big enough. If I get big enough, I'm thinking a little too far ahead for my liking, but yeah, that's everything with the topic. Just wanted to, put myself out there, express my frustrations, and I guess it's a good start to the video because I guess not the video to the podcast. So I guess we'll see. All right, later days.